Hello, and thank you for joining me. Before we can start talking about this book, there's two things I wish to share with you about where I'm at. And the first one is I'm past my sell-by date, and I know it. 6-year-old male, need to lose 50 pounds. I'm just not in the game. Now, it doesn't mean I'm into mag-toe or any of that misogynistic nonsense. It means that I see women as fellow human beings and nothing more or less. The same thing with the girls. They're just people, okay? Shocking, I know, right? Okay, and an illustration of this, obliviousness, if you will. Last teaching gig I had, 6th grade girl asked to use the lav. Sure, go ahead, don't forget to sign out, please. And she takes care of everything perfectly fine, and she's coming back into the room. A female teacher's falling behind her. I'm like, uh-oh. And she's like, what's her name? Apparently, the student was dressed entirely inappropriately, but I was just completely oblivious to it because I just don't notice those sorts of things, right? First thought. Second thought, I'm 6 years old, and I have friends in their 60s and 50s, but I also have friends who are just south of 20. They're adults. Do they have the same level of life experience I have? No. But, you know, if you're a good person and you're enjoyable and agreeable and we have common interests, why not be friends? So I have friends of all sorts of ages, and of course, nothing gender specific in that either, right? Okay. So why this book? Well, a friend of mine, happens to be a woman, happens to be in her 20s, was like, I'm going to read this book. Without even knowing a single thing about the book, the author, the topic, anything, I'm like, I'll join you. And we can have a book club of 2 people. As it is, I finished the book, and last I checked with her, she had only begun to start reading it, I think. So I had to talk with her, and I think she's going to try and get it read this weekend. Anyway. And that is last weekend. We'll see. Right. Punk 57. I started reading it and I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I got myself into here? And I looked up the author's website and all that, and apparently her shtick, if you will, is to write books for adults about teenage dating and all that stuff, which is suspect if you ask me, but okay. She's a former English teacher, a mother, wife, author, all that, okay. Yeah. Why? Adolescence, I mean, I miss the 80s, and there are aspects of high school in my teenage years that I really enjoyed and I miss. But as one teacher put it to me, no one could survive adolescence twice. So why would you want to go back? Yikes. Anyway, the book itself, the author claims the story takes place in New England. We do have some abandoned amusement parks. It's not Vermont because the kids are near the sea, but there are none of the New England colloquial expressions or norms that I could detect. So I didn't buy that. In fact, the whole story I found to be incredibly convoluted. The plot to my mind was not credible at all, but okay. The book starts off rather slow, I found. It picks up, so about halfway through, it becomes pretty readable and remains pretty readable towards maybe 4/5 in, and then it's like, what the? Oh boy. I'm not going to recommend it. I mean, if you want to read it, fine. The author, to her credit, does capture some of the intensity of emotions and experiences of teen dating and discovering sexuality and the jealousy and the envy and all that. You know those things that most of us don't miss at all? Yeah, that. But I'm reminded of what a professor of mine observed in late 80s, early 90s time frame. Word processors have now become established, and thank goodness for that, because otherwise college would not have been really an option for me. what the learning disability and all that. But he observed the difference between writing things out by hand or banging on a typewriter, which is much more physically taxing on the fingers. I mean, yes, we get things on our wrists now, but typing. He observed that people just don't shut up, and it's true. And this book and the last 3, including this one, really mediocre fiction books I've read in the last 2 years, they all contain bonus material. Like, as a videographer, I struggle sometimes to cut things back because this should be shorter, but I really like the video clips. And this is some stuff she wrote and decided it didn't belong in the book, but she stuck it on the end and the back. You could have saved the tree. Okay. If you enjoyed this book, you know, I'm tempted to say that's a you problem, but I read it. It has its moments. It's okay-ish, but I'm not going to particularly recommend it. Well, thank you very much for joining me, and take care. How many of us New Englanders dress during the summer, particularly for littoral environments? Sweater to keep you warm, chilly mornings, cool evenings, that sort of thing. No socks. It's not a style statement. It's your feet get wet going in and out boats and along beaches and such. Your shoes will dry out faster. There's no socks. Just get clammy. Shorts, because this is all you get wet. So why would you wear long pants in summertime anyway? That's goofy talk.